gorgeous day at sea. So that's awesome. And who are you?
Who am I? Well, I'm going to be very distracted because during the show I'm just going to look at myself on all those different screens. Yes, it's such a beautiful addition to the lounge. My name is Annie. I'm the assistant cruise director on board, and the only ships that I haven't done is the Disney Magic and the Disney Destiny at the moment. So Dan, I beat you on that. And I come all the way from Durban, South Africa, and I will say it's so nice to see some very familiar faces here in the audience, and also we met some of our guests socializing yesterday. Yeah, so great to have you back.
Absolutely. And how many people have I sailed with? Oh, well, the whole room. Okay, basically, almost the entire room. My name is Jimmy. I'm the cruise director. For those of you that don't know me, I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Woohoo! I don't know why people clap. So I grew up there and left. So no, Scranton was a great place to grow up. I always loved Scranton, Pennsylvania. Obviously, it became very, very famous from The Office. That really put Scranton on the map. They actually do tours in Scranton now of all the Office places because every reference in that television show is a real reference. They're all real places. That's the amazing thing. But I picked up and left, and I have a couple of great Disney Cruise Line stories. I just this year celebrated my 20th year with Disney Cruise Line, and I thank you. You don't look old enough. No, I feel every day of it. But you know, that's the thing. Time keeps ticking on, and my hair keeps getting grayer, so I just make it shorter. So it just kind of whatever. Next thing I'll be bald.
Salt and pepper is what we call it. Salt and pepper.
Well, mine's a little bit more like yours. So mine's like Frank's Red Hot and pepper, and salt.
Strawberry blonde.
but over my years, some of the funny things that have happened. So this weather that the current seas we're in, yeah, it's a little bit tossy and turny, or as Captain Wesley said, lumpy, a little bit lumpy. But I have sailed through a hurricane with Disney Cruise Line. That was almost back in the beginning. That was like in 1999. It really affected Castaway Cay, but that one we were in 85-mile-per-hour winds and 45-foot seas. That was fun. That was a joy. We had to replace many carpets at the end of that cruise because of all the soaking of it. And probably the one cruise that I hear the most about that the guests always comment if they were on that one, it was the Disney Wonder, and it was a Panama Canal cruise. And we left Los Angeles. There was a hurricane out there, so we didn't know how we were going to get around it. Hurricane Odile was the name of that hurricane. This one, we actually sailed straight out into the ocean instead of going straight down. Day 9 of that cruise was our first port. Day 9. Because we had to just avoid this storm. We went through the Panama Canal, and our first port wasn't to the other side of the Panama Canal. So that was an interesting one as well. But I'm sure every one of us has stories of the cruises that we have been on over the years, and I'm looking forward to hearing yours while you're with us. But we're here. We are on an amazing cruise, and we have so much to look forward to. That is what I'm most excited about. But Annie, can we talk about yesterday?
Yes.
The weather was gorgeous.
The weather was gorgeous. Yes. Well, I mean, for the most part, the day was good.
It was.
Yes.
It was overcast. It was cool. It
Yeah.
was exactly what you expect in November in the UK.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we're experiencing right now as well.
But it wasn't as cold as I was expecting.
No.
The previous day it was colder, but then again, you always see me even on the hottest day with my sweaters.
Always.
Every day.
Always. But
So
Annie,
really-
yesterday, I mean, the energy of you boarding the ship was outstanding. So thank you for bringing the energy back to the ship after a lull period. We were out of service for 5 weeks. So this is our first real cruise back. Just before you got on board, we had a 2-day what we call shakedown cruise. That was to get kind of all of the things back up and running. Most things back up and running. That's probably the best way to put it. We'll talk about that in a moment. But all I'm going to say is we are thrilled as a crew, all of us, to have guests back on board this ship.
Yes.
Because the construction site we were in for over 5 weeks, it is just nice to see smiling faces out there. So thank you for bringing all of that internal sunshine so much going on. So let's talk about some of the things we can look forward to on this cruise.
Well, Jimmy, where do we start? We've got normally on these cruises, and I really enjoy these cruises because there's so much extra that we do that we don't normally get to do on our regular cruises, especially the shorter cruises. So there's a very legendary guest that we have on board, Don Ducky Williams.
Who knows Don Ducky? He
So-
is the best.
He is literally the best, and just such a good human.
Yep.
And he's always happy to talk to everybody. And Don Ducky will be doing presentations for us later on when we get to that Sea Day stretch. So he'll be doing presentations for us in the Walt Disney Theatre. For those of you that have been with us before as well, while he's doing his presentation, he will be doing his drawings too. And you know, you might be having a lucky draw and getting one of those drawings to take with you.
Yep.
There will also be, it will be in the app. He will be doing some signings, so you can get some signings of some of the lithographs that he's done or something that you've bought for him to sign. We also have, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, an archivist,
That is it.
Francesca Scrimger, and she will be doing her talks in the Buena Vista Theatre.
So what she'll be doing is she'll be unlocking the archives of Disney. So she works in the archives.
Yes.
So she is going to be bringing some of the stories of the archives out, bringing them out, answering your questions. But it is fascinating, all of the history. She holds the key to it, and that's what's going to be exciting about her talks.
Exactly, and the archive is here, like the stories that you can tell, absolutely amazing. Then starting from this morning, going through all the days at sea, we have our ballroom couple here, Jack and Jessica.
I said this year we should not bring any ballroom dancers on because I can teach.
You could teach?
No. I have 2 left feet.
Yeah, so they'll be doing their classes throughout, and all of their classes will take place in the tube. So, and just such an amazing couple. And, you know, you could walk away here and learn a few more dance moves when you go out into the world. So, very, very nice to come through and join us. And some of the additional things that we do with our team on board as well. We have later on this afternoon, anyone can cook.
Yes, and I want to mention, so anyone can cook. Today is my absolute favorite. It is my favorite item that we make on Disney Cruise Line. It is found down in Enchanted Garden, and it is the tuna tower.
Yeah.
So it is the tuna avocado tower. That is my favorite. If I eat down there, I get 3 of them.
You get 3 of them.
That's my meal. Yep, I love it.
So we have that series taking place, and it will normally be at 1:45 in the D Lounge to come through and join us, and that's for our adult guests to come through there. And then Jimmy, from the bridge team, we have our nautical knot tying.
There are what I love about all the sea days that we have on these cruises, we can bring extra magic to the cruise, right?
Exactly.
And I have had already so many people ask, so are we gonna have the bridge, are the people from the bridge gonna come down? Are they gonna do some presentations? Of course, absolutely they're gonna do that. Are we gonna do things like the regatta and the boat building? No. Yes, of course we are.
So today in La Piazza, please go through and sign up, and then every day until we have the final contest to see your magnificent build, we will be having time where you can go through and collect what you need.
All of the goods around the ship.
All of the goods.
You know.
And it's so amazing because on the last day we find things that we haven't been providing at boat building on some of those boats. The creativity
Exactly.
there. So there's so much.
There's so much to look forward to, and yes, people have asked, will we be having hide and seek on board? Yes, we will be doing hide and seek. Always one of the most popular events that we do. So that'll be coming a little bit later in the cruise. Also, you know, we have all of the fun things, right? Like the bingos and all of the events and activities that we generally do on board. But what I love too is we have a very special person who's going to be calling bingo all cruise.
Yes.
And every time we do this morning show, she is going to be hiding somewhere out in the great unknown of this ship. Well, many people know the ship, but she's going to be somewhere in the ship, and the person that finds her and brings her back here during the show is going to win a prize. special prize. That's what we're talking about. So probably like a keychain or something, but it is well worth it. Now, she is currently hiding right now, and someone from home as well, if you're watching in your room, in your PJs, you can run out and find her. Can we find out where's Tara?
If you're looking for me, you can find me plotting my next great escape, one excursion at a time.
And there are two very
gifts.
excited people for that keychain.
They were off, like someone had said, the buffet is open, boom, gone, straight away. I've never seen people move so quickly, apart from the announcement of cabanas being open. That was the speed of light there.
There we go.
I can't get over how quickly they jetted out. So let's see how long it takes. And of course, if someone gets there first from somewhere else around the ship, bring her back in here. I have the. No, there's not a chance. That was literally like what's it, the really fast dog. What's his name? Incredibles. Incredibles.
Oh, Incredibles.
Psh, Jack. That's it. That's it. So, Dash. Yeah, not a baby. but speaking of everything else, you know.
But speaking of Jack Jacks, it will be Diaper Dash this cruise too.
And Annie, we're not going to do the one that you asked. You wanted the adult one.
Well, to be fair, we have no adults. Oh, we have to go look at.
Though I do
those
think it would be
babies.
funny. I'm not gonna lie. But yes, we'll have Jack Jacks during the cruise.
Yeah,
Like,
I think we'd be in trouble, Jimmy.
I think we'd be in big trouble. But my favorite thing about these cruises, other than those special events that we bring up, like throughout, and especially that stretch of 7 sea days in a row as we make our way from Portugal all the way to Port Canaveral, Florida, what I really love is the entertainment we bring to life as well. So Walt Disney Theater, we are going to have so much entertainment, and it's all about variety. One thing I want to say in these longer cruises, with variety, absolutely. I just heard a scream.
Wow.
Ron, come on!
That was
Come on up!
impressive.
That was, I mean,
Especially considering Taryn was on the Disney Wish, so that was really impressive.
Wait a minute.
Jared, come up here onto the stage.
wait,
No,
who's
we need to catch a. I mean, this is Mia.
Hi, Mia.
I have to say that was very impressive. Are you out of breath?
Yeah.
We were all like, she went. Now, Mia, you got a special. Look at that! It's a big keychain. Thank you, Mia.
But wait a minute, Mia. What happened to the other guests?
He went to the wrong place. They split up, and he is back. Give them a round of applause for participating and having some fun. We're gonna have other segments happening. Thank you, Taryn. Taryn's gonna be calling bingo all cruise as well, so you're gonna get to know her very, very well. Also, we were just talking, like, we're gonna have segments like that, but we have some other segments that are gonna be coming. This is just the intro one. This is just to get us associated and ready for the cruise. But the entertainment in the Walt Disney Theater, it's about variety. So when I say that, what I mean is we may not touch everyone's like every single time, because that's what variety is about, right? But we have some amazing performers coming. So tonight in the Walt Disney Theater, we have Kid Ace. He is magic and comedy, and that is going to be an amazing show. We also have Just John and Paul coming.
Oh,
They're
incredible.
They are. Have you seen them?
I've worked with them on multiple lines. The best tribute to the Beatles. Right?
They
So
are
the best
such a
ever.
good tribute to the Beatles. They're going to be performing tomorrow night. And the incomparable Lynn Trefsker is on board. Many of you probably know her over the years. She's a ventriloquist, so she's going to be performing in this first portion of the cruise. We have our Disney Broadway at Sea stars coming. I mean, Josh Strickland's going to be here. If you know Josh, you know Josh. He is unbelievable. That is going to be a performance of the ages. That's going to be amazing. Not to mention, I don't want to mention them all at the end, because that cruise I was talking about when we had the hurricane, every one of our variety acts canceled on day one.
Jimmy.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to name them all. I don't want to get everyone too excited. I named the ones that are here right now. Josh is not, but he's coming. The reason they canceled is because we couldn't get them off the ship. That's why, because day 9. Anyway, we had that was an interesting cruise. But also get to know your crew, because we will have a crew talent show, which is always one of the best parts of the cruise. That'll be coming a little bit later in the cruise as well. So much to look forward to, and so much fun to be had. And that is just kind of scratching the surface, right?
The tip of the iceberg.
Can't say iceberg on a transatlantic. Yeah. It didn't go well last time.
It didn't go well.
You just said you started.
Well, I did not. I said
Sorry.
scratching the surface.
No, you said. Oh, the name that we shouldn't say.
What?
But right, yeah, I'm not gonna mention your name.
Well, it's your job to get them here. So anyway,
It's true.
look, the whole idea is to have fun. That is what it's all about. Let's have fun while we're here together. I do want to talk a little bit about the weather. So Captain made an announcement yesterday on our very first day and mentioned that it's going to be a little bit bumpy. Last night was a little bit bumpy. I don't want to find out what more bumpy is, but it's going to be a little bit bumpy. And he said the seas will kick up a little bit more today. We were at about 3 to 3.5 last night. It should get to about 4 to 4.5 meter seas. So multiply that by 3, and that's what you have in feet. So it's going to be a little bit rocky. I did ask him during dry dock, did we put the stabilizers back on? And he assured me that they did, and he assured me that they are working very well and is helping us to maintain some stability as we're in these seas. Now, I will say, weather-wise, the first couple of days we are in storm season, and there's a lot of stuff going on out there. He actually told me on the bridge yesterday. I hope I'm not spilling the tea, Captain. But he did tell me yesterday that if we don't leave today for any reason, we are going to be stuck here for a full week. That is the weather that they are going to be getting to Southampton. So I'm glad we got out. We have some great ports we're going to go to, and we're going to have a lot of fun. The thing is, I know from about day 6 on, from the forecasting, we are looking like, I don't know about sunshine, but sea conditions are looking pretty darn good for our full crossing across the Atlantic. That could change though. So let's see what really happens along the way. But again, we're kind of, I always like to say we're all in this together. On these longer cruises, we're all in this together. So we got to have fun. We got to enjoy the moments. And I also want to talk a little bit about dry dock. Annie, did you enjoy? How many people are interested in what happened on dry dock? Yes, I know. So dry dock is a period, obviously, where we take the ship out of the water. A lot of the things that you probably walked around the ship like, I don't notice too much new. There was so much work done, but a lot of it was behind the scenes, and a lot of it was underneath the ship. One of the big things they did is they removed the bulbous bow of the ship. The bulbous bow is like that front nose that usually peeks out of the water. So it was kind of curved up and rounded, and obviously it was the most fuel efficient and the most kind of the best design at the time in order to break the waves and help us have a better cruise. Well, that design has upgraded over the years since the Disney Fantasy has been sailing. So they removed that and they put a new nose or a new bulbous bow on. It almost is a little bit more torpedo looking, and that helps us glide through the water much, much more efficiently. Also, they painted the hull of the ship with a really, really environmentally friendly and economically friendly paint that helps us glide a lot quicker. In fact, when the Disney Fantasy went into dry dock, it was reaching a maximum of 19.6 knots of speed. On our sea trials after dry dock with those changes, 24.2 knots.
Wow.
I mean, it is unbelievable that what that change can do, right?
Yes.
Also, here in D Lounge, you'll notice the video wall or the LED wall around the entire space. It really does make this venue so much more kind of inclusive and very immersive.
It makes you like this morning. I just want to look at myself on all these screens.
I know.
And Jimmy, like these screens are so cool. Like depending on what we're doing, we'll set the lounge.
Correct.
So
Right now it's sunrise.
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful day as I
It's a
look over this way.
beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
But we also did a lot of changes in the Walt Disney Theater. We changed out the entire automation system. That is everything that makes everything move in the Walt Disney Theater. The entire stage is new. So lots of new. That's why we had a shakedown cruise to get it all kind of up and running. A lot of the back end of the ship, a lot of the systems that run things had to be updated. And as you can imagine, that is huge with wire pulls and all of that kind of stuff. And the crew that are here now, several of the crews left yesterday, but the crew that are here now, the majority of the crew were here working throughout that entire period in just a very different function. So we went away from obviously having guests on board, and we were working within what we would call basically a construction site. That is what the ship was for 5 weeks. So, I mean, you think about it. You've walked around. Don't the carpets feel amazing, like a little bit bouncy?
Yes.
All the carpeting's new, and all of it is new. And what happens with new carpet? They bubble. It's going to be bubbling for the next month and a half. Every time you walk, you'll see it accumulating, and I'm sure our housekeeping team are going to be on top of it trying to get it done. But so many changes like that have been made. The forward funnel is actually still in process, but that is being created into the funnel suite, and we have moved edge from up there to the forward of the ship. So during open house periods, I recommend going to Edge and Vibe. There's been some adjustments up there. That is where the teens and tweens are. Of course, you're welcome to all of our open house times, and we are going to have some adult exclusive events in youth activity spaces. And here's one of my favorite things we did in youth activities. In the Oceaneer Club and Lab, we changed out the play floor. So the play floor is like the big television screens, and when we did it originally, it was state of the art. At this point, it was not state of the art anymore. It was really kind of old school. So that has been completely changed. And if you were ever up in the Oceaneer Club or Lab, the kids had to be on touchpads on the side, stomping on those. And obviously everything is touchscreen now, so they wanted to be up on there doing it, but you couldn't because they didn't react. Our new ones are just completely reactive with everything you do as you stand on it, and so there's games built in. There's just kind of immersive. It's all bubbles. You pop them, or it's an area, and when you walk through, they sway around. Like, it's just really cool. So during those open house times, definitely check out the spaces and continue to explore the ship. But most importantly, I think at the end of the day, during this cruise, let's just have fun. Get involved, because we're still getting the ship up and running, right? So all of the stuff still needs to be shaken down. If there are some other little lumps in the road, like maybe a technical challenge, we actually have a team on board that are monitoring that so they can jump in immediately and get things going there. But so we thank you for your patience on that part. But overall, we just want you to enjoy this amazing journey across the Atlantic. Who's doing it for the very first time? Wow, lots of you. So it's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be lots of days at sea, and we're gonna have lots of fun. But more importantly, if you don't get out of this room and you don't get out of your bedrooms, you're not gonna be able to do any of it.
Exactly.
So, shall we?
Yes.
Good morning,
morning,
Disney
Disney
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Have a magical day today.